This conference will now be recorded.
Vishnu, yesterday you received your mail regarding the session is called off.
No, Sujit, I did not get any update.
Your mail ID is I think same thing, right?
Yeah,
Nagini Mahavishnu at
yeah,
gmail.com.
yes, yes. Yeah,
Oh,
last week
yesterday,
I got mail. Last week session means
yesterday
last week
also,
we got one break. Yesterday I did not
yeah.
get to Sujit. Yeah.
Is it why? I don't know because I sent to everyone. Uh,
Okay.
but others got your message, right? Mail. Others got the mail
What mail?
regarding the session. Yesterday's session was called off, right? Yesterday I sent a mail. Have you received it?
Oh, I didn't.
Uh,
No,
for
you
Mike,
informed
I
through
didn't send it.
WhatsApp, so I didn't check mail.
Okay, okay. Few people like few people I sent. I mean, who are there in my WhatsApp? I sent to through WhatsApp, and my vendors I sent through my vendor. Pranay, I think you got
Yeah, I got from WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Yeah, I sent you a mail. I sent you WhatsApp. Pranay, yesterday
Sujit,
your
I did
vendor
not get
informed
the
you.
mail too yesterday.
Not mail. I informed through vendor
Okay,
for
okay.
you. Anyways, just okay. Next time onwards, we'll ensure that it will receive to you again. Yes, Kishore.
I think I've been still in the old group, old batch.
Yes. Sorry,
That's fine. Yeah. Not even
I
recording
need to
session.
add.
Yeah.
Yes, I need to add. I need to add. 1 second. I will add right now itself. Otherwise, again, it will take some time.
Just,
You are
thank you.
in 7:30, right?
Yeah, 7:31.
Today we completed that batch.
Yeah,
Final session.
I saw the email today. Then I thought
Yeah,
still.
that is the reason you said meet. You are in an old group.
Yeah.
You identified that. Okay.
Thank you, Sujit.
So recordings also not sharing with you, right?
Yes, Sujit.
Okay. I will add to this group.
Okay.
So guys, I received
Thank you.
your, recording still date?
Yes, Sujit, I got it.
Okay, and one more thing. Please download that recordings, okay, on daily basis. Because we cannot maintain that recordings for all the batches, okay, because of the memory issue. So ensure that it is downloaded on daily basis. Yeah. Okay. What was our last topic? Where we stopped exactly? I think it's a domain project. Yes. Can anyone respond, please? Is it a domain project? As per my picture, I can understand it is a
Yeah.
domain project.
Yes, Sujit.
Yes. Yeah, Munuswami, can you please respond? Mike.
Yes, I think domain. Yeah.
Domain only, right? So guys, I have given a task on that day. Is it done? Hi Sahitya. Yes. Meanwhile, wait for ID Point Studios to be logged in. Just give me a minute. So how many of you completed the task? Can I get some response? Either yes, no. Already this batch is the last batch for me in a day. Please respond. I will. Hello, is it audible?
Yes, yes.
So no one is ready to respond. One or two people. Ashwini, hi Ashwini.
Hi, Sujit.
Hi.
Sujit, actually, I tried to install the MySQL, but I don't know what's the problem. I'm not unable to install the installation files.
Have you followed any YouTube channel?
YouTube channel. No, Sujit, I
Any?
didn't try.
That's what I said. No, while installing, please try by following any YouTube channel. Don't try it on your own. It's a lengthy process. Please uninstall and start reinstalling by showing some video. Okay, it is what a little bit critical process in installing any one studio. Okay, let me come back to the session. So today we are going to talk about a transformer. Today and tomorrow we are going to talk about a transformers and very important topic in our sessions, right? Yeah. So have you seen the transformer structure till now in our course? Yeah, please respond, guys. I
Yes.
can't move forward if you are not responding. There is a habit for me. Sorry to say this. No response, I will cancel the session. Sorry to say this.
I think we
So
have
if
please
I'm
seen
in office,
Sujit
so
in message transform, something like that.
Anything. I mean, you just respond. I will take whatever the response I require, whatever the answer I require, which is related to that. Tell me.
I think we have seen the
This is a
transform.
transformer.
I don't know if it. Yeah.
We have seen. What is the structure of the transformer? What is the structure?
Input, output.
Yeah, very good.
and
Input,
process.
output, process in
The
a flow.
process.
Process.
Here? No. Process is in a flow, not here. The scripting part. Script where we are going to write some data view expressions. See, these three hyphens are nothing but a separator between what is this? Header. And what is this?
Body.
Body message.
Body. A header and a body, right? Now, whatever we write in this data view, in this body, okay, that will be converted into this format what I have specified. What is the first line in the syntax?
Data view percentile 2.0.
Yes. Next line.
Output application.
Yeah, application
Slash Java.
format. Java, JSON, XML, whatever the format it is, right? Next. Here, what you will write in the body? That will become as a payload in the event. After the transformer, everything is an event here. Whatever the body you have written, the format what you specified, that will be the ultimate payload value. Got it? That is the ultimate payload value. Now, what is the input here? Assume that I'm sending this request. HTTP localhost 8081 slash transform is the path. Okay, this is very important, guys. Please concentrate and listen. Slash transform and passing some query parameters. Okay. Now, this is the request which you are giving. Assume that first I have a listener. Listener is listening for the request, converting into event. Okay. This is the what is the input event for? I mean, what is the event structure as of now? Here. Do I have any attributes? Yes.
Yeah.
Query parameters as an attribute. Do I have any payload?
Oh, no.
No.
No, I'm not sending any payload to the request. Variables, not created any variable. So that is the empty event structure. Now, I will configure, assume I'm configuring a request connector. Where we use a request connector?
In the source.
Where we use the request connector? On which topic we use the request connector?
In the
So
SOAP
known practice.
application.
Okay, then
SOAP
where we use the
application.
consume connector? Where we use a consume connector? If your noise are not responding, that means not practice the previous sessions. Is it?
Consume also in SOAP connector.
Consume, request, everything in SOAP only?
Yeah.
No. For SOAP applications, it's a consume connector. So no one is there to give a correct, give an answer. Very strange. Request connector is used for what? Consuming a REST application. This is the REST application. Assume third-party REST API. Right? We are sending some request to the REST application, and we are getting some response. Assume that we are getting some JSON structure as an output from the third-party application. So that will become a body, right? That body will be given in the payload. That means in the event, it's a payload. What is the event structure after this request connector? What is the payload? Yeah, this JSON structure will become a payload, and that will become an input to this transformer. What is the payload for this transformer? This JSON structure is the input payload. Assume that the JSON structure is like we are getting some product details. Prod ID 1, 2, 3. Prod name Samsung. Prod price 10,000. Okay, this is the structure. This is the input structure. Now, what I want to do from that by using a transformer, what we can do? Transform is used to convert from one format to another format. Suppose I'm getting a JSON structure. I want to convert into XML. We can convert. We want to convert to Java. We can convert. So any format to another format. At the same time, we can extract the values and I can map to my own fields, my own format again. So what I can do from the payload, if I want to, if I want to extract a product ID number, product ID value, payload dot prod ID, it is a data view expression which I'm writing here, which will evaluate and it will get the product ID value. So based on what I have written this expression, based on the incoming payload. Yes or no?
Yes.
Understood till here?
Yes.
Yes. If everyone
Yes.
understood, when I have written this expression, after receiving the payload from the third party, right? When the third party application will give a response, if I deploy entire application, if I deploy this application, then only I will be getting the output from the third party. Agree?
Yes. Yeah.
So if without having a third party application data, can I write a payload? Can I write a data view expression?
No.
No, right? So before deploying, I need to write a data view expression. So there is a conflict. How can I resolve this? First of all, understood my query?
Yep.
Without deploying the application, I will not get third-party data. Without third-party data, I cannot write up data view expressions. But data view expression should be written before deploying. So how can we resolve this? As an integration developer, definitely you need to understand about what is an input type and what is an output type, right? So what is an input and what is an output you are going to convert. So can't we create some sample data, how we are going to get a third-party data while developing stage? Yes or no? Same structure. Yes or no? We can create some sample data, then that sample data will be given as an input to the payload. While developing, we can write some data view expressions, right? And while I'm writing the data view expressions, I want to see the preview immediately. Every time I writing one line, two line, we cannot deploy the application and check whether we are getting a correct format or not. So whenever I write a data view expression, whether it is converting into the desired format or not, I want to see the preview immediately. So if you would have observed that on the right side, there is an option called preview. Option called preview. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you observed that? Preview? Yeah. Whenever you write a data view expression, if you click on a preview, that body, whatever you return, converted into the format what I specified, it will be displayed here without deploying the application. It's a very good feature in order to save some time for a developer. Got it? Understood clearly? Now we are going to write by using this transformer, we are converting into some different formats and with the combination of data view expressions. What is the data? See, these data view expressions, I think they have, they have started using in a Mule 3 version. In Mule 3 again, Mule 3.3 or 3.4 exactly, I'm not remembering that, right? In that versions, they have used this data view 2.0, I mean data view language. Previous versions in Mule 3, again, along with the data view, we have Mule expression language also. Okay. Now we are using a data view 2.0. In Mule 4, we use only data view. It supports only data view language, no Mule expression language. Okay. And previous versions if you are not using a data view, if you want to convert from one format to another format, example JSON to XML, I have one transformer. From XML to JSON, one more transformer, right? JSON to Java, one transformer. Like that, for every conversion, we used to have multiple transformers. Now, when they introduce this data view language with the combination of a transformer, it's become a very powerful tool. Okay, by using a single transformer, by using a data view language, we can convert from any other format to any other format. Okay, so this transformer in data view 2.0 is become 6 times far better than the earlier approaches. Okay, so understood the theory here about the transformer, what we are going to do. Of course, I'm not going to use a request connector in our example. Straight away from the request, we are going to post the data. Okay, as if we are feeling that we are getting the original data. Got it?
Yeah.
Got it? Yes,
Yes.
no. So
Yes.
today we will see the basic transformation. Okay, once you understand about that, once you practice, by tomorrow we are going to see the complex transformation scenarios. But by tomorrow, definitely everyone to practice this transformation basic part, then only you can understand the complex part. So it will be easy for you only. So let me start. One second. So let me import a new project, 01 transformer basic start. Very simple project here. It's like a plain XML file only. Assume that my client is giving some request in this way, 8081/ transform. Okay, this is the request. If you want to send this request, someone should listen. Yeah, So what is the listener first? What is the first component? I need to configure a
Listener.
listener. Click on a plus sign. 80, 81. What is the path? Transform is the path. Save it. Next, I will use a transform message directly. While practicing, if you want to use a request connector and you want to get a data from the REST application, all these things we can do practically. You know already about all this, right? So in the transformer, so this is the structure of a transformer here. Let me expand this. So this is what we have seen: input, output, and this is called scripting part. On the right side, you can see the preview. Now, before the preview, we have three views, right? Three windows. First window, this is the default view, right? And second view, if you click on the second view, see the middle part, which is the unwanted space, gray color, that will be removed, right? And if you want to see the preview, click on a preview. Okay. Now next. So what is the input for this transformer as of now? Input. Yeah, it's a event, plain event, payload, variables, and attributes, right? Now, do I have any payload? Am I sending any payload as of now? No, right?
No.
So I'm assuming that from the third party application, I'm going to get some structure like JSON structures, right? JSON structure. So I have already created under my resources one sample data for that product.json. What type of file it is? What type of file it is?
JSON, right?
So that's why what is the why it is long pause, guys? What type of file it is? What is the extension it is used? It's a
Yes, just
JSON file, right? So what type of object it is? Is it an object first of all? Is it an object?
Array object.
Is it an array? Okay, let me go back to this point. I need to refresh again. Two curly braces represents what?
XML.
J-
Sorry. Data view.
JSON.
No.
Object.
It's an object, or it could be a map also, right? Which can contain some key value pairs, right? Two square brackets represents what?
Array.
Array or list, right?
Yeah.
These are called as parentheses, right? So these are in Java or a JSON. In data view, this curly brace is nothing but a constructor of an object. Constructor of an object. If you want to create any object in data view, we use the two curly braces. Remember this point. These parentheses are called as evaluation parentheses. So whatever the code you write inside that, that will be evaluated. Got it? Next. Now you understood, right? Now, what is this format?
JSON object.
JSON object which contains some key and a value. In this object, you can see varieties. Offer is the key and this is the value. In that value again, we have offer price is a key. This is the value. And images is type of what?
It's array.
Images is type of array. Okay. Now I want to give this JSON object as an input to my transformer. How to give that? Define metadata. Click on define metadata. First add the file. Which file? Just give the name for that file. Product JSON. This is not an extension. Okay, just the file name. Create a type. What type of file I want to create? What type of file I want to create? You can specify the type. I want to create a JSON type. I have an example in my build path, which is initialized with some data. So browse for that, where it is located under my build path, src main resources product JSON. So automatically it will fetch the details of the object and it will be given as a payload to the transformer. Now whatever the logic you want to write according to your requirement, you can write in this body. So let me expand this transformer. Right click on the payload, edit sample data. This is what the input I have given.
Yeah.
Yes. And see, whenever you align this, and if you go back to some other connector and come back, the alignment will be wiped off. You need to reset it again. Okay. So this is the input. And what is the output here? Did I wrote any output? I used only 2 curly braces by default. And what is the format it is converting into as of now?
Java.
It's a Java format. If I click on a preview, what you will able to see on the preview? What you are able to see on the preview?
It's empty object.
It's an empty Java object. Internally, it is using what? Linked hash map. Okay. If I write 2 square brackets, what you are able to see on the right side? Is it an array? Of course, yes, right? Array,
Yeah.
and it is using array list, right? Now, closely monitor. If I write simply payload, okay, let me convert into JSON, which is readable format. Is it converting from JSON to JSON? Yes, right? Are you able to feel any differences between these two?
No.
Are you finding any differences? No, right?
No.
I'm changing it to one more format. What is this format?
Data view.
Data view format. See, if I convert into JSON, it is converting into JSON. Do you think that JSON is directly converting into JSON? Do you think that JSON is directly converting into JSON? This JSON first convert into which format? Data view format, the native format of a for a data view language. From that, it will convert to the format what you specified here.
Okay.
Understood? Now let me convert into data view. Now observe. First, it will convert internally to native format. Maybe the certification question. Many of the developers also not aware of this point. Yeah, certification we can expect. First, it will convert into native format in data view. Then it will convert into whatever the format you specified. You convert into Java. JSON to Java? No. First data view. From there, it will convert to Java. Okay. Okay. Next, go back to the JSON. Now, my requirement is I want to extract a product ID value and I want to map to my own field like PID. How can I do that? Can you please tell me the code? Yeah. How can I do the transformation? This is the payload. In that payload, dot represents a reference. In that payload, if I want to extract any value by using a key, you can extract a value. So select a product ID. Am I getting the product ID value? I want to take that into my own field.
Okay.
So am I creating a new object, my own object based on the incoming payload? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, I am creating my own object. What is this 2 curly braces represents in data view?
Object.
Constructor of an object. We are
Constructor of
constructing an object. So if you want to write one more line item, comma, p name, example. So payload dot, it will not work because when you are writing more than one line item, you need to use curly braces. Explicitly, you need to write. comma. Let me go with the brand name, B name this time. Payload dot brand name. Okay, comma, offer price. Payload dot offer price. You guys, you need to tell all this. I'm going in a flow.
Okay.
Am I creating a new object in my own format? Yes or no? Yes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now let me convert into Java. Am I able to convert into Java object? Okay.
Yes.
Let me convert into XML. Am I able to convert into XML? No. What is the reason? What is the reason behind this? Why I am not able to convert into XML?
Format is wrong in output.
What is the format? Yeah, what is the format I need to give here? Every XML will belongs to some root tag. Yes or no? The body will be related to some root tag. Did I give any root tag here? No. So how to give a root tag? I want to give a product as a root tag. Product colon. See, is it converting into XML now?
Yes.
The root tag I have given as a product, and this is the body of that XML file, right? Now, see, I'm converting into XML, right? I want this PID to be added as an attribute to the product tag. Every tag will have some attributes. Version is the attribute name, and this is the value. Encoding is the attribute name, this is the value. Now I want to add a product ID, PID, as an attribute to the product tag. So we use one operator called at. Whatever you write in this evaluation parenthesis will be added as an attribute. Just write out Control X, V. So is it added as the attribute now for the product tag? What is the operator we use? At is the operator, right? Let me get one more value here so that if I want to get images, how to get images? Yes, how to get images?
Payload dot images
If I want to get a second image,
dot
One.
where is the key? Do I have any key value for that array? It is an array. By using an index value, we can get the image. Right? Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Next. Okay. How many types of variables we have seen till now in our structure, in our program? Variables. Okay, or else how to create a variable?
Var dot.
Var dot is to extract a variable, to create a variable. How to create a variable? Oh my God, how to create a variable at a component level, at a flow level?
Set variable.
Set variable. I need to come to this flow, then I need to show you, right? Set variable, right? Okay. Now I want to create a, see, by creating a set variable, is it a global variable? That means application level variable. What is the scope of that set variable? Once I create a variable by using a set variable, where and all I can use that variable? Only in that flow or only in that XML or at a project level where I can use that variable? Yes.
In a flow level.
global. It's a global variable. I already discussed about that. It's a global variable. Wherever the event is propagated, you can extract that variable over there by using a vars. That is a global variable. Now my point is, we have created a global variable by using a set variable component, right? Now I want to create that variable by using a data view expressions instead of set variable component at a transformer level. How can I do that? See, what is the body of this transformer right now? What have I written in after these 3 hyphens? Is it a body?
Yeah.
Yes. In which format? XML format, right? That is what is given as a payload. Now I want to create a variable for this offer price. So how can I create? Which can be, see, when I create a variable here, that should extract or that can be used across a project level, not only at a transformer level. That is my idea. So there is one add new target option. We can create attributes or we can create a variables. Right now I want to create a variable. What is the variable name I can give? I want to create a variable for offer price. OFFPR. You can give any variable name. I want to externalize to some other file so that that variable can be used across the project. So what is the file name I can give? Offer price. Okay, click on OK. Now go to the resources. Under SRC main resources at a project level, one file got generated, offer price.dwl, right? Now you can see under the drop down, previously it was a payload. Now I'm creating a variable. Write some expression. What is the expression? In order to get a variable value, what is the data expression I can write? From the payload dot offer price. Whatever may be the payload, okay? Whatever may be the payload, it will extract the offer price value and it will store in which variable? OFFPR. Now, can I extract that variable at a flow level? I'm just using a locker after the transformer. Can I extract a variable here? What is the key? What is the key I can use in order to extract a variable?
Var dot
Where that.
Var is not a keyword.
Vars.
VARS. VARS.
Now, if I click on a dot, is it suggesting me to use that offer price variable?
Yes.
So,
yes.
can I tell that by using a data view expressions, I created a global level variable? Yes?
Yes.
Go to the
Yes.
configuration XML and observe here. Did I use any set payload component in order to set a payload value? No. But when I use a transformer, in that body, the body is nothing but a payload. If I want to write some body, it is internally using a set payload. So did I created any variable by using a set variable component? No, right? Internally it is using a set variable component. Got it? This is how you can create a variables. Okay, can you please guide me how to create one more variable? Let me go with a brand name. I want to create one more variable for a brand name. Can you please guide me how to do it? Yeah, guys, how to create a variable? Just now I shown you.
Out payload next. Drop down.
Edit new target variable
Variable name. B
B
name.
name file
File.
brand name externalize to that, then write payload dot B name brand name, save it. That's it. Can I extract a brand name here?
Print right name.
See, it is suggesting, is it suggesting 2?
Yeah.
Yes. So this is how you can create a variables. Got it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So now I have just given a basic transformation here. Let me deploy this application. What is the output of this application now? Yeah,
XML.
output body. XML body. Is it an XML? Yes.
Yes.
So what is the request I need to send? So I need to post some body. See, whatever I have given in the transformer, it is only for a preview purpose. Okay, whatever the data, exact data we are going to get from outside, on top of the data view expressions what you have written in the transformer are going to be applied, not of the sample data. Okay, so do I need to post the body while sending a request itself? Click on a body, raw data. I need some same structure. Let me take the same structure here. For a change, I'm giving a product ID number as a 3. Okay, for a change, because we need to differentiate between the sample data and the real data, no? So that is the reason I'm giving a real data value as a product ID 3. So once it got deployed, if I give a request, what is the response body you are going to get? What is the product ID value you are going to get?
3.
It is to make some exception first of all. Why? Can anyone tell me the answer?
In listener, we need to select
Because
post, right, in advance.
No.
because in XML you gave PID as you set already PID.
Where is it? Where is it PID?
Like in the product @PID inside the brackets.
Whatever the value here, it is going to where I set as a dynamical. I didn't set any value, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the value, it should get it. Why it is giving some exception? Read this. First try to read the exceptions.
Call the we have to
Answer is
change.
on screen.
Do we have to change text to XML?
Exactly. See, what type of application we are given as an input data, sample data? It is expecting JSON, right?
Yeah.
So JSON. Now send a request. Am I getting a response?
Yes.
What is the output type? This is the body which I have given, product ID, PID. So what is the PID value?
3.
Is it 1 or 3? Now
3.
you understood. This is the real data. If you use the request connector in between before the transformer, then that on top of the data, this data view expressions are going to be applied. Got it? Understand clearly?
Yeah.
Okay. Till now, we have seen a very basic transformation. Correct? And one more thing. Variable. I have extracted a variable. Am I getting a variable value?
Yes. HP.
Yes.
Yes.
HP. So till now we have seen about a basic transformation, right? Now tomorrow I'm going to discuss about a complex transformation. What is it, complex expression? Let me import another project. Zero to transformer complex start. So just I will just give a hint and I will leave it to you. Okay, by tomorrow please practice so that we can start with the complex scenarios. So many things we are going to discuss in tomorrow's session, but you need to understand what we discussed today. Okay, that when I'm telling you may feel it's very easy, while practicing only we'll understand the criticality of that. Okay, so first in this complex project, I have a get conversion rate flow. Ignore it as of now. I have a flow. First I have a listener which is listening on 8081 port and slash transform is the path. Then I have a empty transformer where I'm going to give some payload as an input. So under SRC main resources, I have products.json, one complex JSON. So what is this JSON? Why it is complex? Can you please see and tell me? So is it an array? Array contains what normally? Array contains elements.
Elements.
Element could be of any type, string type, number type, or object type. Right now, what are the elements I have in this array? Yes, objects, right?
Yes.
One object, comma, second object, like that. How many objects I have here? Total 6 product details. That means 6 objects. Got it? Now, can you please tell me how to give this JSON array as an input payload to my transformer? You only need to tell me now. Just now I shown you.
Sorry, can you repeat?
How to give that product JSON as an input to this transformer? Define
Metadata.
Add, delete,
add
add, and give the name.
products JSON.
Yeah.
Create type. What type? JSON
JSON.
type. Example I have
And
src main resources products JSON.
Yeah.
So previously I got only one object. Now I am getting a array of object.
object.
Edit sample data and I'm set for today. Review. You know from here.
Yeah.
It's our object. It's a if it is a JSON, it's a JSON object, right? Now if I write an array, it's an empty array. Now inside that empty array, if I write a payload, what I'm getting here? If I simply write a payload, is it an array? In the preview, output side,
Yes.
are you able to see the
Yes.
array?
Array, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Now if I right side inside that square brackets again I write a payload. What you are able to observe on the right side?
Array inside array.
Yeah, array of array, right?
Yeah.
Array inside an array, in other words, right? Now, if I write a payload, it's an array. Now, on top of this array, I want to iterate. While iteration, when the control is in particular element in that array, I want to extract the product ID value. Product ID value for all the product details. So there is one function in data view called map, which will take on the right side whatever you write for the map function, it should be array. That means that will be acting as a first argument. One second. If you hover the mouse onto that map, what is the result type of that function? It's an array, right?
Array.
At the same time, what is the first argument it is taking? Array type, right? Now that means we can write function in this fashion also. That means this is the function name. The first argument what you are passing to that function can be right on the right side of the function, right? So payload, is it an array? Yes.
Yes.
Can I pass this payload as an first argument to the map function?
Yes.
Yes. So it will, this map function is taking the first argument as a payload, that means array. On top of the array, what is the functionality of that map? It will iterates over items in an array and output the result into a new array. That's what it is doing here. It is iterating over the array and it is creating a new array. Now in that new array, first of all, are you able to identify, is it iterating?
Yeah.
Total 6 products on the left side. So 6 plain objects because I have not written anything in this curly braces. Now I want to extract a product ID value and I want to take it into my own field like PID. So can you please tell me? Current element in data view will be represented by dollar dot product ID. Okay. Next, P name dollar dot name. Offer price dollar dot offer dot offer price.
Okay.
Images dollar dot images. So this expression, what I have written here, this expression is leading to this new array, my own array. Yes, right? Now, on top of this array, if I want to write some functions and all again, if I want to rewrite this expression, what is the best idea? Will you rewrite it? What is the best idea? Can I take that into variable? You need to declare that variable here in the header part. var is a keyword to declare a variable. These are the local variables. Previously what I created, those are global variables.
Global.
What I'm creating here locally, what I'm declaring here, these are local variables to the transformer only. These are not accessed outside the transformer. Okay, I'm just taking into products is a variable name, and I'm taking entire expression into that products. Simply use that variable name here instead of writing entire expression. Got it? Yes, understood?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'll stop here. I think I can understand that it is exaggerated. I will stop the session here. Okay, guys, please practice all this what and all we discussed till now. Okay, in this session about a basic transformation and complex transformation also till now. Okay, tomorrow we are going to see how to create types of functions, anonymous function, named function, your own functions, and how to use a predefined functions, and dynamically how we can get an input, and how we can how we can convert it to different formats. When I give an XML as an input, how we can a small change we need to do. Okay, what is that change, why it is important, all this we'll discuss in a tomorrow session. You have a feast for weekend for a practice. Yeah, thank you guys.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.